Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew. It's Sunday night tailgate.
Yeah,
what's going on?
A little strange.
I'm tired of the wait. We played. It seems like an eternity ago. Now we have to wait through an entire off week. Then we have to wait through the entire Sunday.
We waited from Halloween until Thanksgiving to play a football game.
Good night. Can we hurry up and get on the field already?
Man, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good matchup, a good test for the Chiefs right now.
Right. And, I'm tired of the talking, though. I'm tired of the talking. Let's get the walking.
I want to see what Andy's pulled off during the bye week. He always tends to improve the team during the bye week, so let's see what they get.
Little bye week stat for you. Did you know the last time the Chiefs lost with Andy Reid on a bye week? 2017, 12-9 in overtime versus the Giants. That was week 11. That was 6 years ago to the day, November the 19th. How crazy. 6 years ago, and the offensive coordinator, Matt Nagy. Let's hope. You son of a bitch. You better not do this to us, history.
Do it.
Don't do it. I tweeted it. I said, get it off. We don't want this history. Don't do it to us again.
Absolutely. Man, before we get into some of the key matchups, though, just want to say thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Tailgating a little bit for that Monday night game tomorrow night. If you haven't yet, hit that like button for us. It'll help us out a little bit. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Yeah, Mike, so let's just go ahead and jump into this thing, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some matchups that we're going to keep an eye on. To me, I think there's one that sticks out to me the most. And it's got to be, can the Chiefs O-line hold up against that pass rush? Because so far this season, the Chiefs are giving Mahomes the most time in the NFL. Can they keep it going with a defense like the Eagles defense?
Yeah, I agree. I think Hassan Reddick, he's been a monster this year. I think he's had 8 sacks. He's rushing primarily off the left outside linebacker spot. In week 9, he rushed 46 times from the left side, 11 times on the right side. So if you look at it, he's going to be coming from Jawan Taylor's side. So Jawan Taylor's got to get it together. Is that going to cause Jawan Taylor to get a little frisky and jump a little bit? Is he going to jump a little too early? We haven't seen that rear its head in a while, but now you've got the battle of Jawan Taylor versus Lane Johnson, the OG of jumping too early. What's the NFL going to do this week? I'm confused. Everybody keeps saying, well, these two teams get all the calls. They forget that the Chiefs was the most penalized team in football up to this week. We haven't even played yet. So I don't know what everybody's talking about with that one. It's just haters hating and the Twitter narratives and the online crybabies.
Yeah, stuff.
I really do. I'm with you, though. I believe the offensive tackles have to hold up here. Jalen Carter has been a monster. He's probably on his way to a defensive rookie of the year. So far, Creed and Tooney and Trey Smith have looked good on the inside. But look, they can be beat. Will they be beat? I don't know. I think that's a big-time three-headed monster. I think they could shut Jalen Carter down. But I think you got to get those edge rushers because, usually Donovan Smith holds a lot. He's not really got called for a lot of that this year.
Not a whole lot. So, there's been some timely ones.
Right. But this could be the time of the season. I was talking to Pops yesterday, and he said this is the time of the season they want to start calling stuff like that on the Chiefs to start throwing off some games. And I said, you're
not wrong, Pops. You're not wrong.
Right, you're not right. Hey, one of the matchups I want to see, I think it's big. I think it's L'Jarius Sneed versus A.J. Brown.
I had that one wrote down, number 2.
Yeah, it's a monster. It's a monster. Sneed's got to be physical. A.J. Brown is on a historic pace right now, but look, they're kind of like a better version of Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. It's just chuck it and F it. That's what they do half the time, and when they're not tush pushing, they're just force feeding A.J. Brown. Can't blame them. Wish we had A.J. Brown. Wish that trade would have worked out in our favor a couple years ago.
No kidding, bro.
But it didn't, and we're going against him.
He's a big physical receiver with a lot of speed. So, I mean, that we've talked about this before. There might be times we'll see McDuffie on him, which I'm okay with. Obviously, McDuffie's a beast, but we talked about that size thing, man. Like McDuffie sometimes has trouble with the bigger guys. A.J. Brown falls into that category to me. Still not worried, though, man. I'm with you. I think Sneed and A.J. Brown's probably going to be a battle. I think it'll be good. I think the only thing you got to watch for is Sneed tends to get too handsy sometimes when he's against really good receivers.
Yeah.
So it really depends on if the referees are going to let him grab and hold a little bit or if they're going to be ticky-tacky with it. Because if they start doing that, it could be a long day for Sneed.
You remember the horror movie that come out with Ethan Hawke? I dressed as him as
The Black
Halloween a few years.
Phone.
The Black Phone. The Grabber. That's why I want to call it
The
Sneed.
Grabber.
That's his nickname, the Grabber. But I tell you, look, Sneed's had a good year. We've talked about that a little bit. They're in initial phases of having Sneed contract talks. Initial phases is hey, would you maybe be willing to sign with the Chiefs before something next year? And he's like, yeah, probably. And they're like, okay, cool. Initial phases is over. Let's report that to the media. But look, he's had a pretty good year. I think Sneed's going to do well. As you said, McDuffie, the Warden's going to line up on him a few times. I think the key matchups are going to be what happens when something goes with a shift or an alignment by Spags, and maybe he gets matched up on a Jalen Watson for a few plays. Maybe he gets matched up on a Josh Williams.
Yeah,
those are the 4 to 10 snaps that could possibly make or break this. Those two guys got to step up this week because they might not get thrown out a lot. But if you're ever on AJ Brown, sack up. It's about to happen.
Yeah,
and,
I have total faith that they can too. I think they both have the ability to do that.
1,000%.
I think the main thing with the AJ Brown matchup is you saw what L'Jarius Sneed did with Jay Jetta. He imposed his will on him. He got physical with him. I don't think that's going to work for Sneed with AJ Brown because AJ Brown could pick him up and eat him in one bite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Like, I don't think he's going to be able to play that type of game against AJ Brown. Don't think it'll be as effective. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But that's definitely a huge one. That's the second one I had wrote down as well.
Right.
Moving forward, outside of those two, Mike, it's Isaiah Pacheco. I want to see him get the 10+ carries.
The run game, man.
You got to give him some carries. At least 10, Andy Reid, at least.
Is Pacheco going to get more carries than the Eagles are going to do tush pushes?
No.
If they don't, you're in trouble. That's my point. If they can pull off 8 tush pushes and we don't even get Pacheco 8 carries, we're in trouble. Like, we've got to at least beat the tush push on the run attempts here. And look, I'll go with you. I think Pacheco's great. They got to get him implemented. I'd like to see him get implemented in the pass game a little bit. But that's another weapon. Yeah. Do you remember his rookie season back in training camp, his rookie year? They were motioning him out wide and throwing deep goals to
running
him.
some wheel routes and stuff.
Yeah, like I would love to see that be utilized a little bit. Let's open this offense up a little bit. I'm tired of it. I don't know what the conservative weirdness is, but let's use Jerick McKinnon too while we're at it. Like, taking him out of the pass game of the offense has hurt this team a lot, in my opinion.
Right. You haven't seen it as much this year. They haven't tried to get to it a couple times, but it's not as I don't know what the word is. It's just not as prolific as it was last year. It wasn't happening. Right. It's not happening all the time. You don't see it. It's like a rarity when they go to that screen game. But, teams like the Eagles here that have a good pass rush and stuff, sometimes that screen game is going to come in handy. So
that's huge.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do with it. I just want to see Pacheco get some carries, man. Well, we did the short the other day, or I did. It's about Isaiah Pacheco. We're undefeated when he has double-digit carries. Both games we lost this year, he only had 8. Obviously, there's more to it than that. But, I mean, just knowing that, like, why would you not at least give him double-digit carries? Like, it's just one more thing that you have going for you,
Yeah. Well, I feel like in the past, it's not a big surprise. Andy Reid, his style, Bieniemy, Nagy, they're offensive-minded guys. They use the pass to set up the run a lot. But I think this is a team that's different. We don't win a lot of one-on-one matchups with our receivers. Mahomes don't trust receivers a lot. How about we use a little bit of the run to set up the pass? Let's take some heat off the receivers a little bit and bring some guys in the box and maybe soften that little, that weird zone defense they want to run and that too high shell. Let's create some problems for the defensive coordinator rather than allowing the defensive coordinators to always impose their will on our receivers and our offense. How about that?
Right. Well, something else I think that the Chiefs could use to their advantage this week is wide receiver screens. I think if they could get it out quickly to Sky Moore, they can get it out quickly to Rashee Rice, that they can do some damage with the ball in their hands. That's what they do. They're both yak guys. Get them the ball quickly. That way,
Kadarius Toney.
Right. Any of them. I mean, we got so many guys that can do that. And I think, you even see them do it to Kelsey sometimes. I'll put him out there, throw it to him. I think that's something they're going to have to utilize as well because you can completely eliminate their pass rush if you play a quicker game. And we know Andy Reid knows how to do that. I mean, it's what he specializes in.
Right.
So I think that's definitely something I want to see too.
Yeah, I mean they pulled Richie James off the IR today.
They did. That's yesterday, I think.
Well,
Or was
yeah,
it today?
was recently. So I don't know, but he's off. I will say, what are you going to do with him? Like we
I
thought
don't know.
he looked good in the offseason.
I bet you don't see much of him.
preseason.
I would say they
and then he's had one catch
put
for
him back
6
in
yards.
slow. They'll put him back in slow.
Yeah. Well, they got to make a move to get him back on. I wonder what happens there. Wait a second.
Keandre Coburn.
Speak of the.
Just kidding.
Speak of this. KY says they activated Richie James of IR. They haven't made a move. What do you think happens? Ross gets released. He could.
I mean, they might as well at this point, because from what the look of it, like, I don't know if he's gonna.
Yeah. To me, that whole situation, I need to dig into that. Put my investigative hat on. See what I can dig up on that one a little bit.
The fact that his grandma kind of threw him under the bus, that's not good for him.
No, that's not good. And they elevated one of his misdemeanors back up to a felony charge. So
hey, I think he's toast, man. I think he ruined it. He might
be like Eli Apple, the Toast Twins.
Man, it's depressing too for a guy that's got so many chances. The Chiefs have gave this kid so many chances to get healthy, get right, get on the field, and then you do this.
Yeah,
come on, got to be smarter than
I don't love it. But
Yeah.
I mean, look, apparently up to this point, he's been a good kid. He's not ever had any other trouble. Again, I think what he has to do is just come clean. More than likely,
sure.
They've got to investigate it thoroughly. You still don't know what it is. You believe it, because you should. If a woman makes an accusation and throws the police into it, and you've got your grandma talking about it, right, let's look into it. But there could still be something here and there that may not be true, or all the facts haven't come out. So let's investigate it. Let's don't throw them under the bus just yet. But I'm with you. You're not a big enough name at this point where you can kind of get away with that crap. Like, it's kind of like, look, dude, you've not even developed yourself. Let's stop getting in trouble with the police.
Well, he can't Kareem Hunt it. That's one thing. He better not lie, better not try to cover anything up. The truth always comes out. So just like you said, be transparent. We'll see what happens from there. But that definitely could be the move that they go with. I mean, I don't really know what they'll do here. So many receivers on a team that apparently has no receivers that are good. Well, it's insane, right?
Didn't P. Ryan actually was elevated last game in place of Clyde, correct? Clyde was sick or something?
I think. I don't remember.
So, I mean, P. Ryan's probably going to be elevated back down. I don't know if he's going to get dropped, but there's roster changes. There's
go ahead and leave Clyde off the roster too.
Yeah, I mean, considering what P. Ryan did, he had one carry. Wasn't even a great play call, probably. I mean, Clyde and P. Ryan's the same guy. Like, they're just going to go run into the line and fall down. And to be honest, P. Ryan's probably a little more explosive. So,
yeah, right.
I mean, at this point, I kind of just let Clyde sit around and just hope nothing happens to my, my bell cow backs. Yeah.
Maybe. What's going on, Douglas? He said you guys are hands down the best at what you do in Chiefs Kingdom. Keep keeping it real. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the kind words. We try to do our best. Man, it's been a struggle lately. I'm still sick, by the way. If you can't tell, I cannot knock whatever the heck this is. But
Steve, this is every year though with you.
November.
I feel like you stay sick from November to about March every year.
Why do I love winter so much if I'm sick the whole time? I don't understand.
I have no idea. You've got a lot of kids that go to a lot of schools and put their grubby little fingers on everything. So you will catch everything. You guys are inventing diseases. Yeah.
Patient zero over here.
It's a toxic wasteland over there in that side of Radcliffe.
No, but trying to get back on the ball, get some more content out and everything like that. So we appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, man. So I want to see Pacheco get more carries this game. No more 8 carry games for Pacheco. We gotta get double-digit carries. I'm with you. I think if it's just it only makes sense that if you're struggling with the wide receivers in the pass game, run the damn ball. Like, I mean, I don't understand.
It's too easy. It
is too easy, and I know
Andy's got to make it tougher.
Andy's, just can't make it easy for himself.
He's a Hall of Fame coach. He wants to make it as tough as he can. Going up against these low life other coaches are they don't even intrigue him anymore. He's got to outsmart himself at this point. Yeah. So who knows what Andy's doing? I think they'll get it together. How much are they going to get together? I don't know. The Philadelphia Eagles defense, a lot of people's been talking down on them. Look, they've allowed 195 points, which is about dead middle. I think it's 14th in the league. but they're the 9th ranked total defense. Now, the Chiefs, I think, are top 5 total defense. I think they're like 2, 3 maybe.
Yeah, they're up there, dude.
This is a defensive battle. I actually went back and looked through history. Do you realize that these teams have played 10 times? Once in the postseason, that would have been the Super Bowl. They played 10 times. The total amount of points scored for the Chiefs, 256. The total amount scored for the Eagles, 254. Like, they are the most smack dab, like, right down the middle. And that's exactly where I had my prediction this week. Like, you're going to hear this prediction on this game, like, when we get to those in a minute. And I mean, that's what I kind of went with. I went with history.
Well, hey, I got an idea. Let's go ahead and do our predictions for the game. And then I want to talk about some of the weird stuff that happened in the NFL during the bye week.
Okay.
And today. There's some strange games out there.
I haven't seen a lot of today's games. I've seen the first slate up till about 4 o'clock, and then I haven't looked since. So yeah, I'm surprised.
It's been some weird ones, man. Some stuff I wasn't expecting. Some games were closer than you thought they were going to be. Yeah, we'll get to all that, but before that, let's talk about this game a little bit more. We'll do our predictions and things. Then we'll talk about all the weird stuff going on. We'll get to the chat and we'll start taking some questions as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll let you go first this time, man. I always hog first. So
okay.
Go for it.
I think it's gonna be a good game, and I think it's gonna be close. And I might think there might be times within this game that Chiefs fans are watching and they're saying, we're seeing more of the same. Nothing happened during the bye week. You might say, oh, God, it looks like momentum shifting big time for the Eagles here. I think you may see the Eagles take an early lead, and I think you may see the Eagles sit on it for a long time. But I do think when it comes down to the fourth quarter, I do think the Chiefs will pull it back close. And I'm going to go ahead and give the Chiefs the win, 27-26, with a Butker field goal in the final minute. I think it's going to be that close. I don't know who's going to be player of the game. I think at that point, you'd probably give it to Butker. Heck yeah. But I'll say Mahomes has a decent day. I don't think he's going to pick the defense apart by any means. I think Kelsey probably gets somewhere to that 75 and 100. I know a lot of people are saying, look, I was on Lance's show the other day, and he's convinced. I told him I wasn't going to die on this hill. He's convinced the Chiefs are going to win the blowout. I was like, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pans out for him.
It pays off for you.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That, to me, that's a little wild. I don't see a huge blowout. Chiefs don't blow anybody out. Why would they blow out the best team in football statistically? So, I mean, well, not statistically, but record-wise. But yeah, I think it's going to be close, and I can't really see Rashee Rice. I can't see him going over 120 yards like people are saying and blah, blah, blah. I still don't know who the wide receiver is, and will they step up against the Eagles? That's a tough team to step up against. So you would have thought that they were going to step up against like the low-life like donkeys or something, but no. So I don't know. I'm just going to say Kelsey goes to 75 to 100, and somewhere between him, Mahomes, and Butker is going to be player of the game.
Man, very broad there.
How generic, by the way. I'm just not really feeling like the crazy takes lately. Like, it's just, I want to be more centered, right? I'm not going to go crazy today.
Well, I think the Chiefs are not allowing you to make crazy takes this year because they have yet to do anything crazy. So, except for losing to the Denver Broncos, which is the craziest thing they've done this year. But yeah, hey, if you think the Chiefs are going to win this game, whether it's close or not, hit the like button right now. Let's get that over 100. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do mine. I got the Chiefs in a close game as well. I got them winning 28-24. I think that it's going to be and I almost didn't even give them that many points, to be honest.
Because I could see this one being low scoring.
I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot of long, grinded out offensive drives from the Eagles.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of fourth down tush pushes and crap like that.
Yep.
I think they're going to try to wear our defense down. And, I mean, that's the best strategy to take, right? Our defense has been hot all year. Keep them on the field, wear them down, keep Mahomes off the field. I think this is the route they're going to take. They're going to play it just like the AFC South would play us. We've talked about that before.
Man, I hope not. Those are ugly games to watch.
They are, but I still think you're going to see some of that. I think the Chiefs will be able to overcome that with a turnover or two. I think the Chiefs will win the turnover battle.
So kind of just like the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I'm seeing a lot of similar, stuff. Like I'm pretty sure Jalen Hurts is going to rush quite a bit. He'd probably rush for a touchdown. I think you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. But yeah, 28-24 Chiefs. I'm going to say Pat has 3 touchdown passes, though. I'm going to give 3 touchdown passes to Pat. Probably about 260 yards, nothing crazy. But I think it'll be a solid game from Pat. He's had Struggles, I guess you could say. Struggles for Patrick Mahomes, not for anybody else. Does that make sense? Like, anyone else in the league would love to be playing like Patrick Mahomes is right now, but since it's Patrick Mahomes, like we've noticed, there's he's a little off a tick sometimes. I think this is a game where he can settle in. I do think I think Rashee Rice might have a bigger game than people are expecting. I think they might hit him on those quick screens like I was talking about earlier. I'd like to see them get Sky in that too. But yeah,
dude, I'm begging for a Sky Moore game.
I don't think there's ever going to be a Sky Moore game.
Well, I don't mean the Sky Moore game, but I'm begging for just one time that Sky Moore and Patrick Mahomes would just get on the same page, and we can at least see if Sky Moore was a bust or not. Look, if you get through the whole game, or if you get through the whole season and Sky Moore does not have some sort of a breakout game this year, you might be able to just throw that out there. Some people are already doing it. You got to put them in the right spots, in my opinion. But I'll say I'm tired of making excuses for him, but I'm with you. I'd like to see Sky Moore do something.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's our predictions here. I know some of you guys have been putting them in the chat already. If you haven't, throw it in the chat. Love to see what you guys are predicted for the score tomorrow night. Should be a fun one, though, man. The only thing is, like, it's a primetime game, and I feel like the Chiefs never play to their full potential in primetime. Do you notice that? Like, I feel like
yeah, well, yeah, because, like, look, the Jets was primetime. We look like trash.
Right. I don't know, but there's games where they have played well in primetime. Yeah. I guess you can't say that all the time, but I get this. Like, usually it's like, man, they're in primetime, they're gonna look stupid or something. It's kind of how they do. But
right,
it'll be good. But going the bye week was definitely a win for the Chiefs. If you guys are subbed on our Patreon, patreon.com/allchieftUp, we released an episode. Was it yesterday or day before?
Saturday.
Yeah. So we were a little behind on that one, but we got that out. We talked a lot about the bye week and how the Chiefs were winners of the bye week. And, without getting too deep into it, we'll discuss it a little bit right now. But if you guys haven't yet, patreon.com/allchieftUp, $10 a month. You get at least 4 bonus episodes a month. So go check that out. But yeah, so the Bills lost to the Broncos. Josh Allen is looking the most Josh Allen he's looked in a long time. Just out there giving the ball to everybody. He's like Oprah. You get an interception, and you get an interception, and you get an interception. Sean McDermott's pissed, yelling at him. Stephon Diggs don't want to be there still. His brother's tweeting, saying he's got to get out of there. Disaster in Buffalo, right? And then the Bengals. Joe Burrow out for the season. So, I mean, the AFC shaping up pretty odd, to be honest. Everyone thought at the beginning of the season it was going to be the same old song and dance. It's going to be the Bengals and the Bills trying to knock the Chiefs off in the AFC. And I don't even know if the Bills or the Bengals get to the playoffs at this point.
Well, look, the Bills won today. They beat the Jets 6-5. I think you can knock the Jets out. I think if the Jets at 4-6, they're just out. I think they were gone today. If they wanted to get in the playoffs, they needed to beat the Bills today. Josh Allen played better. I mean, look, the Jets have a pretty good defense. We've seen it firsthand. They made Patrick Mahomes look pretty bad for most of the game. And today he was 20 for 32, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. So he looked a lot better today against the Jets. I don't know if I'm ready to write the Bills off, but what I can do is write the Bengals off. I think they're done.
They're toast, man.
Right. After Thursday night, 34-20, and Burrow going out for the season, they're just done. Like, I thought if Burrow could have stayed in, they maybe could have squeezed in 3, 4, 5 wins and been fighting right there. But look, you see the Browns beat the Steelers today 13-10. The Browns are right there still battling. I think they got a wild card right now, but they've got to be going for first in the division, like pretty close to the Ravens. I think they still play the Ravens at some point in this season. I don't think they played them twice yet. So, look, the AFC North's shaping up to be a dogfight as usual. The Raiders almost hung on and beat the Dolphins today. You wanted to see the Dolphins win, I guess, because it's the Raiders. But
you kind of want to.
I'd have almost rather have just seen the Raiders win because I just don't feel like they're any threat to the Chiefs with us playing them twice. So
absolutely,
we'll see.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Myron. Says training for football to make his dream come true. That's awesome, man. Keep doing your thing. Let us know what position you're playing, man. So that's awesome. Also, Jeremiah in the house. What's going on, Jeremiah? He says Burrow been slapping the nuts.
Yeah, he had a little
had a wrist injury. Won't slow down.
He had a little whack injury there or something.
Yeah.
Josh in the chat says Mike killed the Bengals' chances. He's got the toxic love.
You did.
I did it. I cursed him, and I didn't mean to curse him like that. Look, we all know. I don't know what it is. Since about 6th grade, I've carried around like some of the worst, like bad luck. Like I used up all my good luck before I got to 6th grade. I can remember it. I told you, Steve, about this. I was winning a spelling bee. I was a spelling bee champion, baby. And I was doing a thing, and it was down to the final 2, and the word was window. How do you misspell window? I didn't. I just opened my mouth to say WINDOW. Almost misspelled it again. On the last W, I opened my mouth, and I guess nerves, and I said, why?
What? No, you didn't.
I said, why?
And then I said, windowy?
Yeah, but then I said, W, but it come out why, and so the teacher's like, I know you didn't mean to say that. Ever since that day, dude.
That was the end of your good luck.
That was the end of my good luck. I was winning coloring contests. I was winning Easter Bunny egg hunts.
You know what I used to win all the time? Remember those like time tables? They would test you on the time. They're like, do your little time tables, how many you could get right. I'd always win that. And the spelling bees. We were knocking it out in elementary school, bro.
Hey, we peaked.
We peaked too early.
We peaked. Look, some people peak in high school. I peaked at the age of about 11. Okay. It's been horrible since. It's still going to this day. But anyway, I just wanted to say every time I say that Joe Burrow sucks and I dog him, he goes out and kills it. He's a world beater. If I say Joe Burrow looks pretty good, he throws a pick. So I said, I hope Joe Burrow has a successful season. I think he's going to be awesome. He goes out for the year instantly. Josh asked me, by the way, on Twitter, he said, do you want to go ahead and wish somebody else good luck for the year? And I said, no. With great power becomes great responsibility, and I can't do that to somebody else.
You can't just be out there being reckless.
I'm not going to try to curse people. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. With that being said, I think Jalen Hurts might have a good week this week, though. Might have a big game.
Julia Gulia says Mike explaining the start of his villain arc.
Is there like a good villain name for like misspelling and a spelling bee? I'm like the spelling beekeeper, and I attack you with bees. I don't know.
I got a couple, but we can't say them. Yeah, so I have some good names for you, but can't talk about it right now. Anyway, so with the AFC shaping up the way it's shaping up, you think that the Baltimore Ravens are the closest competition for the Chiefs here? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they got to be at this point. I'm not scared.
And that comes along with the way they play the grinded out running game.
No, I'd say the Dolphins probably.
Especially since we beat the Dolphins once already, right?
Right, but they got too much speed, and they did play a good second half. The Chiefs went to sleep. I don't know if it was more of the Dolphins or the Chiefs just pulling what they do, but other than that, yeah, it's those two. But I will say the whole Lamar thing, if they don't beat themselves to a pulp, which they like to do, and I know Mark Andrews is now out for the season.
Yeah, he's out. And Lamar had an ankle injury going on.
Right. Game, but the way they run their offense, they got a stout defense. If they can keep Mahomes off the field, if they can pound the run, which, by the way, our run defense may be the worst part of our defense, and that's not saying a lot because they're still pretty good. But those are the kind of ball control teams, which is what you're saying. You think the Eagles are going to try to play that ball control style this week?
I think we'll see more of it. Like, I thought they were going to do that in the Super Bowl last year, and I think they tried it a bit. There were some drives where I was like, dude, we're never getting off the field. Our defense is improved this year, so that helps. Right. But I think they'll still go for more of that, though. That's just the formula to beat the Chiefs, is it not? If you look back at any of the other games, that's what kills us, is when they cannot get our defense off the field, and then our offense goes out and 3 and outs over and over again, and our defense never gets a rest. That's the recipe for disaster for Kansas City.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, the Commanders lost today to the lowly Giants.
Well, how they do that?
I don't know. But look, Bieniemy's offense put up 400 yards, 229 in the air, 174 on the ground.
They couldn't still stop Danny DeVito or whatever his name is, though, could they?
I mean, he had 201 passing yards and 91 rushing yards for the Giants. So I don't know what happened in that game. It looked like maybe some turnovers. I don't know. Mike, 3 fumbles lost and 3 interceptions. Good
you were talking about the Bills, and you're not writing the Bills off yet. And I don't think I'd completely write them off yet. But just wanted to point out the rest of their season schedule.
Yeah, what did they have left?
Won today, but then they go, they play the Eagles, at Philadelphia, at Kansas City, at home against the Cowboys, at the Chargers, home against the Patriots, and then at Miami. They got a tough run.
So look, they're beating the Patriots. They're beating the Patriots.
Should
they're
be the Chargers. Chargers look like crap.
Yeah, they're going to beat the Chargers probably. They'll beat either Dallas.
I don't think they can beat Dallas.
Who was the last one you think? The Dolphins. They'll get one win out of those two.
You think?
You think they're just going to line up and lose to the top 4 teams?
I think they can beat the I think they can beat the Dolphins.
Dolphins, Eagles, Chiefs, and Cowboys, right?
But to be honest, though, the Cowboys can implode at any time. That's what they do. So who knows?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I could see them squeaking out. I see them maybe going 3-3 the rest of the way. Somehow.
Yeah. So they'd have to squeak in as a wild card, right?
Yeah, it'd have to be a wild card because look at the Dolphins are going to win the division.
Yeah, I don't know what the Dolphins got left, but yeah, I'm with you. I think the Bengals are toast because, I mean, what are the Bengals without Joe Burrow, right? And I mean, yeah, you still got good receivers, but I mean, you have to have.
They're hurt too.
Yeah,
I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins is hurt right now. So
what happened to Chase? I know Higgins has had an injury for a minute, but
he's got a big mouth injury.
Yeah, his ego's busted. Is that what it is?
His ego's busted. He's out for a few weeks.
What a dummy. I can't stand hearing that guy talk.
Yeah, he's pretty annoying.
Yeah, man, but I guess as far as the NFC goes, it's the Eagles and the 49ers. Cowboys they always try to make a claim to be a good team. They always have a good roster. Can they do it? Can they actually compete this year? I don't know. I'm going to lean towards no because it's the Cowboys and this is what they've been doing since 1996, but I mean, they do have a good roster. Granted, Trayvon Diggs is out, so that sucks. And Vander Esch is going to be. It looks like he's never going to play football again.
Right. What happened with that? I seen the play, but what did they say?
It was a dirty push by Trent Williams for absolutely no reason, and pushed him into somebody, and it cracked his neck, fractured his neck.
Okay. So yeah, I seen the play, but I didn't know exactly what had happened.
Absolutely unnecessary, by the way. Like, I'm sure Trent Williams wasn't trying to break the guy's neck, but either way, it could have been avoided. It was absolutely ridiculous. But that does suck for that guy. He's pretty young. He's a good linebacker. That sucks.
Right.
But yeah.
We got the Vikings up on Denver 10-9 at the half. I'd like to see the Vikings get a win there.
I think they're probably going to.
We got 2 games coming up against the Raiders here pretty recently. I think one's on Christmas, but I think we got another one after this week, right?
Yeah.
Those are going to be good matchups.
Christmas game. The Christmas game's the Raiders. That'll be a fun one.
Yep. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Let's go to the chat. If you guys got any questions, anything, throw some questions in the chat. Put the little question marks beforehand so we don't miss them. Let us know what you guys think of this game. Any questions you have. Again, thanks for being here tonight, man. We got only 180 something watching. It's a little slower, but yeah, this is a weird night.
Sunday night, right?
Yeah. Sunday night, people's watching the games. It's cool. We're at 109. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 20K. We just passed 17.1. So we're slowly but surely creeping up. But appreciate you guys being here. Throw some stuff in the chat if you want. We'll answer them. And yeah, man. Austin says, what's up, Austin? He says, Jarrett got a touchdown tomorrow. He'd come back tomorrow night.
I think he could. Yeah, for sure. Like we were talking about, they gotta implement the screen game, right? With a defense that can rush the passer the way the Eagles can. Right. I think it's only smart to have that lined up and ready to go. So very well could see that for sure.
Yeah, I want to see Jarrett get back into it. If you're waiting for the stretch run, here it is. Like you're after your bye week. I mean, come on, he's got to be able to hold up for, 7 games left or 8 games left and a few playoff games. I mean, he's making big money. You can't baby him forever. So Let's get it rolling, baby. Let's get it rolling.
Hey, somebody's calling you dyslexic in the chat. KY's giving you crap.
What I do?
I feel like KY's always giving you crap, and I love it. It makes me happy.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. I don't know. I'll let you find it. But anyway, I had a question here from JT. What's up, my man? He says, you think Spags will blitz a lot to make up for our second string L? Well, do I think he'll blitz a lot? Maybe. I don't think you can overdo it. I feel like Jalen Hurts can chuck up some balls, kind of reminiscent of the way Russell Wilson does. Like when they're under pressure, they'll just chuck up a duck up there. And when you got people like AJ Brown or Cortland Sutton in the Denver's case, Like a lot of times they can come down with those things, and it's like it's kind of iffy how much you want to blitz them, especially considering they do a lot of design run plays with Jalen Hurts too, so that could come back and bite you as well. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what Spags comes up with for his game plan. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. Spags likes to blitz. He'll go through phases where he won't blitz an awful lot, but he does like to come up with like exotic blitzes. So I'm curious because we do know Jalen Hurts can beat you with his legs. I don't know his exact number versus a blitz. I'd love to go find that. I might look for that in just a minute. But yeah, I don't know what they'll do. I do think he'll have a good game plan, though. That's one thing I'm starting to see with Spags is his game plans are starting to look really solid week to week to week.
Yeah,
he's starting to get his players. The players are getting his scheme, and it's opening that defense up for a lot.
Well, he's definitely going to try to keep Jalen Hurts on his heels. He's not going to make it easy for anybody. He likes to confuse people, and I think he'll be able to do that a little bit. But yeah, Julia Gulia says the O-line's still a concern. I don't think they're necessarily concerned pass blocking. They're one of the best in the league. Mahomes is getting more time than anybody. Run blocking kind of stinks, especially on the edges, on the tackles. So it just depends. But I think it'll be a good test for them tomorrow to see how good they really are. Because the Eagles got one of the best pass rush in the league. So can we still give Mahomes all that time? I don't know. We'll see. I think that's like we said earlier, that's probably the main matchup I want to watch. I want to see how they respond. Because that'll tell us a lot about what we got going on with the O-line right now.
Yeah, I think the O-line, look, they've been good by the numbers. They have not allowed a lot of sacks. But again, you start looking at them individually, they've got their faults. Look, Jawan Taylor's not played like he was worth $80 million.
Right.
He's played solid, but he had his early problems. We won't talk about that again. Let's hope that don't happen. Donovan Smith has had a little bit of early problems. Joe Tooney's allowed more pressures than he's had in his entire career through the first few games. So they've not all been great, but as a unit, they've been very solid. So as a unit, they're good. Are they concerned? They don't really concern me much. I think what concerns me more than them is the fact that Mahomes just wants to hang onto the ball too long. Like at some point, you can have you can have Willie Roaf protecting your blind side, and
he's been a little indecisive this year. I'd like to see him get a little bit more on the ball there.
Oh, KY says Mike dyslexic. I see 90, not 109. That's what you're talking about? On my screen, it says
113.
And mine says 114. So
I think KY, it's you. It's you. It wasn't Mike.
Maybe KY is dyslexic. I don't know. I'll refresh. Maybe I'm missing something.
Man, we got one from Gary Hall in here. He says, Mike and Steve, do you feel Snead will have a sack and an interception on Monday night? You know, that is a possibility. I think Snead could get a sack, but I don't think they'll blitz him very much because I think he's going to be very focused on A.J. Brown. I think you'll see McDuffie probably blitz more than Snead. Jalen Watson, they like to use Jalen Watson on blitzes. I don't know. It's a possibility, Gary, but I wouldn't bank on him getting both. That'd be a rare game there. Do you think they'll throw a pick? Do you think Jalen Hurts will throw a pick? That's a good question.
Maybe. Look, our DBs...
He's usually pretty careful with the ball, to be honest.
Yeah, and look, our DBs are not known to be ball hawk DBs. Like Mike Edwards, possibly.
Yeah,
But look, Justin Reed don't have a lot of picks in his time. Snead doesn't get a lot of picks. McDuffie, has McDuffie even got a pick yet? He may have one in his entire career. Like, they just don't really throw to him much. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say maybe a linebacker gets a pick. I'd like to see like Willie get pass coverage. I like to see Leo get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
Look, Drew Tranquil's going to have a big game because, look, we're missing Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton was huge in the Super Bowl.
For sure.
So, look, Tranquil's going to have to pull that off, too, because I think that was a big part of Spags' playing in the Super Bowl.
For sure. Brian Parrott, what's up, my man? He says, do y'all think Richie James makes a statement tomorrow? He's heard a lot of Karens. I personally think you're not going to see much of anything from Richie James tomorrow. I could be dead wrong, but them just pulling him off the IR, and they already have like this debacle with 29 receivers. I don't think we'll see much of him. And I don't even think he won't be doing the return game. They've already given that to McCole. So I really don't know what we'll see out of Richie James, to be quite honest. I wouldn't expect anything, really.
If Richie James plays more than 7 snaps, that's a statement. that they are committed to Richie James.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him not even playing 5 to 7 snaps, to be honest.
I would love to see them be able to utilize him, but like I don't have that much confidence in it considering they can't utilize Sky Moore correctly. They can't
yeah. They've got so many. Like we've all said from the beginning, like, yes, they do have 7. Connor Embry explains that, well, you just got to be good and next man up and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, dude, football is just as much anything else. It's streaky. Sometimes, you got people with the hot hand. You got to get them in rhythm. Chiefs ain't doing that a lot, man. And it's tough for those receivers to go out there and play cold like that.
Right, for sure. What's up, Richie? Good to see you, my man. He says over under on 3+ sacks. Push. I think we could get 3 sacks. I don't see us getting a whole lot more. They got a good offensive line, and Jalen Hurts is very mobile. But I do think we'll put some pressure on them. I do.
I think we get 2. I think we'll have 2 sacks. I'm going under.
I'm pushing. I'm going 3.
I think the 2 sacks will be
Mike Dana.
No, I actually don't think they may go half sack. Mike Dana might be in on a half sack, but I give a full sack. Yeah, I'm going to give him 1 to George. I think George will get him. I think Chris Jones will get him out of the pocket and run him into George at some point. Other than that, I'll say half sack for like Dana and maybe a linebacker, like maybe Chanel comes off the edge or something. Yeah, I'll say 2, but 3's not out of the question. Actually, 4 or 5's not out of the question because our defense is pretty solid. And Spags and those blitzes, man.
Yeah. What's up, Kelly? Good to see you. She says hoping for some big plays from Rice and KT. I think we'll see some plays from Rice. I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing with KT. I know, which I'm glad you brought that up though, because Andy Reid is like, hey, this guy's coming off a knee surgery. Everybody freaking out. We're not using him a lot because he's coming off a knee surgery. Do you think there's any truth to that, or do you think that's just a little excuse for not using Kadarius Toney? What do you think that was?
I mean, yeah, I think there's some truth to it. But like I said, right off the rip against the Lions in game 1 where he had a case of the drops, we didn't think he looked well enough to play. We didn't think he should be getting that much playing time, but they felt comfortable doing it. And now the later in the season, now his snaps are dwindling. So it almost feels like he's getting less snaps because of production, not less snaps because of health. Because if that were the case, it looks like it would have started slow and built. Right. So I'm not 100% sure. Andy's not going to throw anybody under the bus, in my opinion. I think maybe that's a thing where, like, look, Kadarius Toney knows he's struggling a little bit. He knows he's feeling the heat. The whole receiver room has to be feeling this. Sky Moore feels it. MVS. They all have to be feeling this a little bit. Mahomes is feeling a little bit of pressure, by the way, in my opinion, because the offense has just struggled, man. I think Nagy's feeling – they're all feeling some pressure.
For sure.
I think that's just Andy's way of saying, look, we know what the problems are internally. You guys know what the problems are outside, but we're not going to really go there and throw people under the bus. It's almost a quiet confidence that he's instilling with Toney. Like, look, I'll come out and I'll say whatever you need me to say to take some heat off of you, brother. Let's get it going. And look, maybe they respond.
Could be.
I think maybe I'd love to see Kadarius Toney have a breakout game tomorrow. I would maybe almost rather see him than Rashee Rice. Because I have no doubt Rashee Rice is going to get there.
Yeah, for
sure.
But
if Kadarius Toney could figure it out like this year, like tomorrow, that would be excellent going forward to have that option with another reliable Justin Watson, with Rashee Rice coming on. I'd love to see a nice 3-4 wide receiver rotation. And look, if Sky Moore can't crack it, he can't crack it. Go sit his butt on the bench. I'm tired of watching these guys flip around out there and suck.
Right.
Like, let's figure out who can play and let him play a little bit.
Well, there's one guy I wish they would utilize a little bit more. I think he's looked really good this season. And I see Optimistic James has mentioned him here in the chat. Noah Gray. He says Noah Gray has like 1 drop, but solid season, quiet. Noah Gray's a beast, man. Like, he's a lot more than people think he is. We've seen some excellent routes, some excellent catches from him this year. I think they could utilize him a little bit more. And I think you're going to start seeing more and more Noah Gray in the years to come, because I think that's who they're really banking on when Kelsey starts losing production or the time that he could play, the older he gets. So definitely wanted to point that out.
You see Noah Gray have some good games earlier in the season, but that's almost a testament of how bad these receivers have been. Isn't it? Like in week 1, week 2, week 3, you're seeing a lot of Noah Gray, a backup tight end, and that's who was carrying your offense for a lot of these times.
I think when your offense is struggling the way it is with the receivers, I think double tight end sets are not a bad idea.
Well,
but they haven't gone to it a whole lot.
Well, we run tons of 12 and 13 personnel with double tight ends, but I'm just saying, look, if you've got all these wide receivers that were supposed to be so good, we kept 7 of them, but the backup tight end was primarily moving your offense.
The problem is, Mike,
I don't know.
we didn't keep 7 wide receivers because there were so many good ones. We kept 7 wide receivers because they were all exactly the same level of player.
Right,
like you didn't know who to cut and who to keep.
Right, which is what we said.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I still think that, well, then that's a big old fat whiff by Brady boy. Because he took 7 wide receivers that are all slots, by the way.
For sure. Brian Perry asked, Juwan's contract crippled our ability to make other moves. Is he worth it? I don't like that they paid Juwan Taylor as much money as they did to play right tackle.
That's a pretty good point, actually.
I do like...
They paid him a lot.
I do like that Brett Veach was investing in protecting Patrick Mahomes. And I think he thought he was making the right move. So I'll give him that. Because you got to keep Patrick Mahomes upright. You got to keep him healthy. So I get it. I understand it to a certain extent. But I think the contract was a little bit too ridiculous. And I'm with you, Brian. I think that it did cripple us, maybe making some other moves. But I think other things like MVS's contract cripples us from making other moves. And there's other things to look at too. But I do think that Juwan's a little overpaid for a right tackle for sure.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think they overpaid him. Did that hurt them exactly this year? I'm not for sure how much. I don't think early in the contract he had a lot of big money tied up in it. So
$60 million guaranteed.
Right, but that don't come off the cap.
I know, but that's just crazy to me that they just paid him all that money. That's just, I don't know. I still am along the lines of thinking they thought they were going to have to use him as a left tackle at one point. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've talked about it. We thought they were targeting maybe Anton Harrison in the draft and missed. They had to go back and fall on Donovan Smith. Nobody knows. Nobody knows but Brett Veach. It's tough.
Right. JT says, what's your all's thoughts on the hip drop tackles? With how Mahomes plays, I get nervous every game.
Dude, they've hip dropped him a few times this year.
100%. But that's the thing about it, man. I was talking about this today with a guy at work. And he said, I want to get your opinion on this because he said, I'm more of like an NBA fan, not as much an NFL fan. But he said they're talking about the hip drop tackles a lot because of what happened to Mark Andrews and what happened to the college quarterback.
Right, the kid from Florida State.
Yeah. So he was like, but he said, I wanted to get your opinion because to me, I don't know what else they can do in that position. And I said, you're exactly right. If you're behind somebody and you're trying to tackle them, that's the only way you're getting leverage. Like, what are you supposed to do at that point? I feel like it's almost impossible.
Like you can't like run faster than them and run through them.
Right, it's crazy. Like I feel like that's just part of the game. It's unfortunate that it is, but it's just. I mean, what else can you do? A hip drop tackle to me is just someone using their leverage the way they have to make a tackle.
So you're basically you would have to define hip drop. You would have to define it perfectly.
Well, it's like when they say they grab. Does that
mean that you grab ride them, and just fall?
Yes, but that's what I mean. What else can you do?
That's the only way to really stop somebody,
right? If you're behind a guy and you're grabbing them this way, how else are you going to stop momentum like that?
Right. I think it's unfortunate. And I think it sucks. Like I really do. But look, if you start putting rules in on that, then guess what? Now you've got another roughing the passer situation. They can start just like going out there and calling it when they want. You can go out there and do this. It's different than targeting. I'm just afraid if we start digging into every bit of these, we're like, well, now we can't hit high. You can't hit low.
The thing is, man, when we were playing football as
kids, Steve, we're gonna be playing flag football soon.
Right. But when we were playing football as kids, think about Pee-wee football, Mike, like elementary school, Pee-wee football. When they're teaching you how to form tackle at that point. But were we not taught that if you're behind the person, that's how you bring them down? Like you wrap up and then you basically drop. Like you're using your body. That's the
only way to get them down. What are you going to do, run with them?
Exactly. You learn that from a young age. Like this is how you tackle from behind.
And not to mention, let's just say you are fast enough to hit them and run through them. You're pushing them forward for 6 more yards. Like stopping them is the only way to stop them. So stop, drop, and roll, baby. It's like you're on fire.
It is what it is.
I don't know. Look, it's unfortunate. And look, that's how Mahomes got injured against the Jags in the playoffs last year was a hip drop.
Right.
But again, I don't know what you can do. It's just part of the game, man. Concussions are part of it. Yeah. Everything's part of this game.
Injuries are part of football.
It's a dirty, violent game. And and if we start messing with it too much, it's going to get to the point to where they're going to put flags on them. And you're just not going to be able to play anymore. And it sucks. But, dude, they know the risk they're taking. They get paid handsomely for it. College, they don't. But, look, the NCAA's trash. The NCAA needs to be disbanded, by the way. So, either way, there's a talk. Like, let's turn all this around on the NCAA. Somehow it's their fault. Those pieces of garbage.
Just blame them.
I hate the NCAA.
Got Dez the Gym in the house. What's up, my man? He says, "Are you more excited to see Kelsey versus CJ or Carter versus Creed?" I'm assuming you were talking about CJ Gardner. No, he's not even there anymore, is he?
He's not there anymore. He's in Detroit.
Yeah, is that who he's talking about?
I don't know.
You have to clarify.
But I was going to go with Carter versus Creed anyway because I think that's
absolutely
a really good matchup.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and Carter and Creed, they'll be double teaming him a lot, I suppose. So I don't think that Carter will tear us up by any means.
Carter's
we have a good
athletic.
interior. He is, but we have a good interior offensive line.
And he's a big guy. But yeah, look, if you start getting double teams from Tooney and Creed or Creed and Trey Smith, you're in trouble. Now, what they may do a few times is let him run through and let Trey Smith pull and just knock his little butt out. That'd be fun to watch a few times. Boy, that used to be fun. When you had that over-aggressive, because we played offensive line.
I did not. I played defensive line, and I absolutely hated when people pulled, and I hate when I was stupid and bit.
Right. I was a guard, and boy, did I pull a lot.
Those were some of the worst hits I took, is when I would be an idiot and jump a gap, and then all of a sudden get blindsided.
Jump the gap, and then the guard gets you from the side, which was me. Bro. Boy, I probably had 45 pancake tackles where I would roll people. That's my favorite, and that's what Trey Smith does. Trey Smith catches that big boy like that, he's going to roll him. Dude, it could be fun, man. That's going to be a fun matchup, though, but that's what I'd go for. Carter versus Creed. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
It's hard to ever watch, but on the other side, look at that. You'd have Jason Kelsey versus Chris Jones. Come on. This is going to be monster offensive-defensive line matchups.
That's a good matchup, too, for sure. But, dude, I took some bad hits that way, though. It's so funny. I'll tell you, probably two of the worst hits I ever took. I was a freshman. They put me in a varsity game. We were playing like some of the big corn-fed guys, like from like a really country county in Kentucky, right?
Some country corn county.
And got blindsided, and I feel like I flew in the air for 10 yards, landed on my hip. I couldn't move anything on my body for at least 10 seconds.
Look, those hits are dangerous. You want to talk about blindside blocks and just brutal. Those pulling linemen that hit those guys. That's tough.
I'll tell you how I got it another way. I played defensive end. We did a stunt. That guard pulled, and a fullback with a full head of steam came through that hole and absolutely slaughtered me. Like it was almost a blindside, but I saw him come at the last second. It was too late. Those are the two worst hits I ever took. Like those made me reevaluate football. Like you laid there on the ground for 10 seconds. Like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
The worst hit I ever took was actually my own problem. I chased a kid out of bounds. I dove, and when I dove, my foot caught on the ground weirdly, and I drug my toe, and somebody landed on the back of my leg. And I remember riding home in the car afterwards, and the front of my shin had separated.
From the muscle?
The muscle had pulled off the top of the bone a little bit. And dude, I put my leg up in the car on the ride home, and Dad was like, "Don't do that." And when I got home, all the blood rushed back to my leg, and I thought I was going to pass out. That was painful. But look, having a 17-year-old young man's body, I bounced back in about 2 days. Didn't even feel it anymore.
Totally different.
Dude, if that had happened now, I'd be out for 6 months.
Be out of commission, my man.
I'd be out for a while, dude. I'd probably just amputate it.
Absolutely. Joe E, he says, what's up, Joe? Score predictions for Monday night. I had the Chiefs winning 28-24 with Pat as the MVP. Mike, you had, what was yours?
27-26 Chiefs, and I had the MVP being Butker.
I'll go with Butker. Kicking a clutch field goal as usual.
He's clutching it from the parking lot.
Yeah. Same. We were talking about this earlier, Lonnie. DB receiver matchup's going to be good. Mainly on defensive side of the ball for the Chiefs. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, like I want to see Snead and what he's going to do with AJ. That's the main thing, right? I mean, they have some other guys that can play. They got some other good receivers, but AJ is the main one that you got to watch out for because he can hurt you quick. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Right.
I'm not a huge I do think Devontae Smith is a fine receiver. I think he's good, but I don't think he's anything more than that.
Look, I think that's who McDuffie's going to be lining up against a lot.
Right.
They're about similar in size. Look, he's going to get open. He's going to catch a few.
Mm-hmm.
You know he is. All these guys are going to catch. I don't think you're going to prevent A.J. Brown from getting no less than 3 to 5 catches, somewhere in that range. You're just not going to do it. You're just going to have to take your lumps.
Yep. Hey, I signed back. I signed back with the show here. I was on a holdout for the last week or so, week and a half, and I went ahead and signed up.
Steve, he's talking about the
What?
stupid sign over your right shoulder, you
I know,
idiot.
Mike. I know.
Oh, I thought you really didn't know.
No.
Man, you have sick brain. I don't know what you know.
No, I was just being stupid.
I haven't even seen you in like 2 weeks.
No, I saw earlier where Brian Parrott had said something about me holding out. So I was playing off of that. Yeah, the sign's awesome. Mike got me that sign, by the way. Nice brotherly present.
You can actually see mine. It kind of gets held. I'll put it up. I got the guitar in front of it. But yeah, I've got one too. But it's tough to see. Kind of messes with the lighting too. It makes everything look kind of strange. But we'll see.
You yelled at me like I was dumb.
I really thought your sick brain had caused you to be mental.
No.
I thought you'd gone straight mental. Yeah, who knows? Oh, okay. Andrew. He said Byard instead of CJ, the guy they picked up from the Titans.
Yeah.
So that makes
good.
sense.
He's good. That'll be a good matchup. But I think
Kevin Byard, baby.
Byard has gave Kels fits in the past. I ain't gonna lie. Like Kelsey don't have great games against the Titans, but you know.
Hey, it's Steve. Trish is here. Trish, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Trish? Good to see you.
And Trish is an OG. She's been around for a while, baby.
Consistent too. She pops in all the time. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, Trish.
I think I caught Trish in the Trish, was you in the live the other day that I did with Lance and his brother? The Spoken. I think I seen Trish in the chat there. I didn't get to really see a lot of the chat. When we guest appear on places, I don't get to see a lot of what the chat says. So if they don't tell me what's going on, I have no idea who's there and who's not. But I think I caught your name at some point.
Well, like when you're a guest on a show, you don't feel the need to like look at it.
Right.
I feel like it's like you can kind of just kick
somebody else's job.
Right. Like I totally understand that.
Yeah. That was fun, by the way. If you guys haven't, go sub them.
The Spoken,
because they're trying to get
podcast.
They're trying to grow. Also, I had one with Marcus Dash this week. We had Jason Dunn earlier, but now it was fun to talk to Marcus a little bit. So Chief Concerns, follow them too. They're trying to get to 5K, and
help them guys out. That's my thing. There's 3 that I really wanted to plug. That being 2, the Spoken Podcast, Chief Concerns, and Scrambling Armchair. If you like just straight up podcast, that's a good one for you. And he's been super supportive of us since YouTube decided to be idiots. So definitely appreciate that. So make sure you go sub to those 3 channels if you have not done that.
Yeah, tell them we sent you. Tell them ACU got their back.
For sure. Man.
Actually, Steve, I'm sure. Does anybody in the chat know Shaggy Shane?
I'm sure they do.
He's a character around Chiefs Kingdom. He actually sent me a message the other day, and he was asking about YouTube and who was giving us problems and this and that. And so, yeah, a lot of people wanting to support. Actually, Lance wants us to go and drop our Patreon, and he said he would push it out for us and stuff. So a lot of support from Chiefs Kingdom around all this, to be honest. But at this point, me and Steve just already accepted the fact that nothing's going to be done, and we're just trying to ride this out. And to be honest, there's not much time left. We've went through it pretty quickly.
We're halfway there.
I do wish the content, and when I say content, the only thing that really struggled, we've missed maybe a few lives, but the only thing that's really struggled is the long form content, which is the daily podcast,
and that's our bread and butter. So it's been
it is our bread and butter. But I mean, our people are sticking with us, and they're supporting, and we're getting some support. So we're getting through it, and we're still on the grind to 20K. So we're gonna get it, and once we come out on the other side, Steve, it's gonna be even bigger and better.
Yeah. Have a good night, Richie. Good to see you, my man. Man, I don't know. We'll be fine. It's just a very inconvenient for
super.
Like you have to think, me and Mike have been put a lot of work into this channel for almost 2 years now, and a lot of time, a lot of effort, sacrificed a lot. Like we had, stopped working as much outside of the home, because we were starting to be able to make that work. And then when all of a sudden they pull the plug for no reason right around the holidays, and they literally are like holding a big chunk of money hostage as well. Like,
yeah, they're not giving that back either. By the way, Steve, you want to know why?
Look, they already spent it.
Look, I dug in and read about this. They claim that they picked 3 months because after 75 days, which is right under the 3-month mark,
is when they can keep it.
Return that back to themselves and keep it. So they're just going to straight up.
So yeah, they're still in a big.
They just straight up stole probably a couple grand at least.
A couple, you think? It's more than that. A lot more.
Yeah, because they've dug into everything we've got. Advertising, anything that went through YouTube. So YouTube's a slap nut. I hate them. But look, let's hope they get it figured out in January, because if they don't, we really going to be in some trouble. Because what are you going to do with a channel that can't get monetized, and it's your way to reach out to 20,000 Chiefs Kingdom? What do you do at that point?
I don't know. We'll figure it out, though.
I know, guys. Hope we don't.
I noticed people are not the biggest Patreon fans. I will say that. Like, getting people to go over to Patreon.
Different, man.
Getting people to go to Patreon off the YouTube platform is like pulling teeth. But yeah, it is an easy way to support us right now. It's just
the easiest way is to go get some merch.
Oh yeah,
we got some Christmas sweaters.
Speaking of, do I still have that on here? I want to show them.
I don't know.
Actually, I think the one that's pinned in the comments is the hoodie. I think I did that.
Okay.
But yeah, we did design a little Christmas design, and I want one. I do know that. I think I have it on here.
Yeah, the sweatshirt looks more Christmassy because of a Christmas sweater.
Right.
But I'm just a hoodie guy, so the hoodie is cool too. What's it say on the back? Does it say all chiefed up?
Yeah, it's got our logo on the back.
Gotcha. Okay.
On the front though, the Merry Chiefsmas, and it's got the little arrowhead down there with the deer and the snowflakes. Love the design.
Deer and the snow.
This one comes in red and green, and then of course there's a hoodie too. So yeah, that's an easy way to support. Merch.allchiefedup.com. It says $44.99 up there. The good thing is it's the holiday season, and until January 2nd, 20% off all your orders with ACU holiday promo code.
It's the holiday season. Like we have any more spare money in this economy. Hey, that 20% off.
Man,
that needs to be
this is a perfect.
50.
This is something perfect to be wearing during the holidays, though. That's why I want one.
Hey, you're gonna win some ugly Christmas sweater parties with this baby. Actually,
beautiful.
No, I kind of do.
Beautiful. What are you talking about?
I'm just playing, man. Somebody told us we were blasphemous because we changed Christ and Christmas to Chiefs.
They dug way too far into that.
They really did.
They got way. It's not that deep. It's not.
And it's
that
like,
deep.
guys, do you not know who we are? Our dad was a minister for like.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. We're not being blasphemous. You ain't going to hell for wearing a Merry Chiefsmas shirt, guys. Come on.
Brian Parrott. You know why yours hasn't shown up yet? First of all, yours is free. Everything you've ever owned from us is free. Brian Parrott, Mr. Complaining. But no, I want to hold it for at least another week or so before I ship it out.
Steve, look, if Steve's in charge of sending it out, it ain't happening.
Mike's the shipper guy.
Yeah, I do most of that, but it took me a long time to get out those posters too, because some of it I noticed we'd give them away, and then I was like, why do I want to go to the post office? And then we just give away 3 more. So I was just kind of waiting until it finished. But hey, everybody got their poster. Brian, you'll get that hat, and it's pretty sweet, by the way.
Yeah, it's nice.
Some guy stopped me at the gas station, pointed to this hat I'm wearing right here, and he got right in my face, and it creeped me out. I thought he was about to mug me, and he was like, dude, is that a snapback? And I was like, no, it's fullback. And he's like, I've never seen a fullback with the mesh. And he's like, I'm gonna have to get me one of those. And I was like, are you a Royals Chiefs fan? Because it says KC on the back. And he's like, no, I just like the hat. And I was like, how weird of an interaction was that, by the way?
That's pretty weird. Thought you were getting mugged.
Weird happenings.
Nope, just staring real close at your hat. Man, so what's going on with the game going on right now, guys?
It was 17-9 last time I seen it. Yep, 17-9. I think the Vikings got the ball. At least that's what it says on my end.
Vikings in control here.
Says they're 1st and 10 at the Denver 34. I don't know how up to date this is. I'm kind of just watching on like Google, like some kind of little Google thing.
Well, I'm going to look real quick. Donkey's probably going to drop another one. Can't believe we lost to them idiots. Okay, yeah, it's 17-9.
Wait, Chief Kelsey says you're still waiting on a poster? What poster?
Just one of the posters.
Dude, I could have swore I had all my posters out. But wait, by the way, Casey Fandan says he never got his poster. That's right. There was 2 of them that went out that apparently I guess they just stole them out of the mail because Casey Fandan and Chief Kelsey didn't get theirs.
And you shipped them? We'll ship more.
I've did it. But look, I'll ship more out. I've got them somewhere, and I think I've got a few more poster holders. I'll look this week and try to get them out, probably after Thanksgiving, obviously, because if I send them out now, they're just going to get stuck in the mail. So
Brian Parrott, by the way, next time I see Mike, I'm just going to give him this stuff for the ship out to you. So we'll make sure you get it. We'll put a rush on it. How about that?
We'll get it. We'll get it.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian actually wanted to take it to the game. He went to one of the games. He's going to wear it to the game. Give us a little shout out. But yeah, we just got behind. Steve's been sick. Look at that dude hawking up over there. He's inventing a new sickness. Man. He's constructing a new sickness.
It's starting to get to that point where I can't stop coughing. So I'm just throwing that out there. Excuse me. I'm patient zero.
Sean, what's up, Sean? Sean says, so just been curious. Do you know, are all players mic'd up on defense? If Spags decides to change a play because of a certain look, are mic'd up to communicate? No, that's what. Okay, look, I'm going to teach you this one. Great question, by the way. No bad questions. Great question. Usually they pick a player and they get the green dot. When you see a green dot on the back of your helmet, you've got a mic system.
Nick
you've got
Bolton.
An internal communication. So Nick Bolton, I think Drew Tranquil's wearing the green dot now. Yeah. So what happens if Spag sees something, Spag wants to call in a play, it's got to go through the green dot. He relays it. So Tranquil has got to do that by
If you pay attention
mouth.
To the games, you'll see whether it's Nick Bolton or Drew Tranquil, you'll see them repositioning guys. You'll see them pointing things out.
Yeah, that's why they're getting up there and tapping, guys on the butt here, left and right. Yeah. If you get
they're not just slapping that butt for fun.
Hey, who don't want to be slapping ass?
They're just gonna walk up there, slap another man
do
in his butt.
Do it. What's it? Yeah, and I mean that's a lot of communication, a lot of screaming, but that's the green dot. So when you see a player with a green dot on the back of their helmet, that's what that's known for. Because if they knew multiple players had green dots on the back of their helmet, or they did not have a green dot and they had a mic in there, boy, you'd be getting suspended. They'd be taking half of your wins away. Like that's highly illegal. I do think that they should start maybe going more to maybe letting more players have the green dot. I don't know how it could hurt, unless they're just afraid that maybe you can start changing stuff, privately at the 3 seconds on the clock. They could be like, "No, we're running left, go." And then
is this a thing? If it is, I didn't know that. Chelsea. So at 15 seconds, they cut it off.
It gets turned down. Yeah, it goes. It goes. So that's why Patrick Mahomes a lot of the time's doing this. Like you'll see him walking around doing that.
Every time
he's
Patrick
trying
Mahomes
to get the play in.
Every time Patrick Mahomes makes a really bad play, it's instant.
He's trying to get that play in. He's trying to get it in because Chief Kelsey's right. That does get turned off. They just don't want a lot of communication because, like I said, they don't want people just barking out stuff to the last second. That would just change football so weirdly.
Great. That's pretty cool though. I did not know that. I didn't know the 15-second thing, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know when I learned that, but it was odd. It was just maybe like on a random Monday Night Football game back in the day. They had talked about it, and I was like, "Oh."
Did you see where the Monday Night Football crew was eating at Q39 today?
Were they?
Yeah. What's his name? Troy Aikman and who's the guy that we can't stand that talks too much?
There's a lot.
I can't remember his name. Either way, they were at Q39.
Chris Collinsworth?
Yeah, they were at Q39. They took a picture of all of them eating. They were in the do you remember the time that we were in KC for Christmas and
that back room?
We all ate at Q39. They're sitting at the exact table we were sitting at.
That's cool.
Yeah,
dude, I've been craving Q39 like crazy.
Yeah, I crave KC.
I went to a restaurant yesterday named Longhorn. It's a steakhouse. I'm sure most people have probably seen.
Yeah, it's a chain. It's a chain.
They're franchises. But I went there. They had the mac and cheese. It was a premier side, and when it come out, it looked like Q39. And I ate it, and I was like, Q39 would crap this out, bro.
Doesn't hit the same.
Dude, Q39 is just it. I love it.
Right. All right, guys, we're gonna be on here for just a little bit more. If you have any last minute questions, go ahead and get that in. Do us a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. Sub if you haven't. We're gonna get to that 20K mark before the season's over. One way or the other. Put out a short today, actually, if you guys want to go watch it. We kind of clipped a small section of a discussion me and Mike were having on our Patreon podcast. Made a short out of it. People didn't like it. People didn't like that short, Mike.
They did.
No, they didn't. I think they thought we were making fun of Joe Burrow because you called him a whacker. He said he hurt his wrist whacking. And I think, yeah. So I was looking at it earlier. I was laughing because most of our shorts and most of our videos are like a 98 to 99% like to dislike.
Yeah.
This one was at like 90%. Like 10% of people hated Matt Short.
It's at 91.4.
I love it. So what I think's happening is I think a lot of Bengals fans are seeing it, and it's great. Makes me happy.
That's funny, but obviously you know you don't watch if you didn't get it. I mean, we're always gonna. You're not making fun of the injury. I'm just making fun of it. If Deshaun Watson ever gets hurt, my lord. Hey,
he's out for the season.
Hey, but check it out though. Deshaun has done something that he couldn't do with all the masseuses. He effed over the entire city of Cleveland. 250 some million.
Good Lord.
Okay. He wishes. But I don't know. It's just jokes, people. Let's move on.
Just jokes. Tom Hood says maybe we'll see Nuggies as a new play call by Andy. Nuggies. I bet they got Nuggies in there somewhere, right?
I wonder, what would a play of Nuggies be designed? Like, what could the Nuggie design play look like?
I feel like it'd be something
Nuggies.
I feel like it'd be something like corn dog. Just something quick,
like the corn dog
to the point.
Well, when I think of Nuggie, I think of like a 5-piece. So I feel like it's a 5-wide set. I feel like something fun's gonna happen.
I don't know
what could happen.
Got to throw that in there.
Jerick McKinnon takes the handoff, and Mahomes catches the 2-point conversion. That's a Nuggie play.
Maybe it would be some kind of ridiculous trick play. Knowing Andy Reid.
Yeah, Tom Hood. He says jet 82 Nuggies. It could be a Phil Hardman, a jet play. A little jet sweep for the Nuggie.
A double reverse.
Who knows, man?
Man.
I'm ready to watch the game tomorrow, though, and I hope you guys have a good time. Have a good time watching it. Hope you enjoy the games tonight. Let's hope Denver gets beat. That's going to be fun to watch. Hope the Vikings hang on to that one. But we appreciate you guys being here for real.
And we'll be back. We'll be back post game tomorrow night to hang out for a little bit.
For sure. We'll come back after the game. It's probably going to be super late. So after the game, if you want to come hang out, either vent or party, we'll be here doing both of them. So appreciate you guys being here. And ACU crew. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Hey, go Chiefs, baby. We gotta bring the heat tomorrow. It's time to got a little something to prove still. Even though you beat this team in the Super Bowl, people's been talking trash. They've been blaming the field. They've been blaming the refs. They've been talking all that smack. Hey. It's time to get out there and be like, you know what? We're still better than you. You suck.
Blame your mama. I don't want to hear it.
For sure.
It's time to win. Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.